This is Smallzy Surgery.
Welcome tonight's guest, Grammy award-winning Aussie band. Their new album, Inhale, Exhale, comes out this Friday. It's Rufus Du Sol.
You got me begging, baby.
Hey, this is John. This is James. And this is Tyrone. And we're Rufus Du Sol. Hanging out with Smallzy on Nova.
On the show tonight, we're lucky to have him, week of album release. Rufus Du Sol, everybody. Yeah, look at you. Oh, I love the outfits are like on point. You are looking schmick.
Stuff it.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Fresh off the plane, feeling. Yeah,
You
feeling
don't look
schmick.
like you've just come in
Exactly.
off a long haul.
Exactly.
Well, welcome to the show, boys.
Thank you.
How are you? Week of album release. Who wants to take that? How you feeling inside?
We're raging inside. It's good to be home and good to be celebrating the the album release here back in Australia. We've got a show here to sort of
You
kick
do.
it off, and we've got all our friends, our family, and all the people who've been there from us from the start. So yeah.
Show's happening tomorrow night. Big hometown show, Opera House. Are you nervous? Are you going to have lots of friends and family? How many tickets did you sell versus did people knock you up for like free tickets and say, hey, we want to come to the show?
We've been getting hit up a lot, which is
Yeah.
a good thing. A lot of friends I haven't spoken to in ages, like
Suddenly
hey, what's going
coming
on?
out of the
What's going on?
woodwork.
No, for the most part, like my family's here, they're coming. It's
Nice.
sick. We've just been in rehearsal for the last 6 weeks, learning a bunch of stuff from the new album.
Yeah.
We had a show last weekend in San Francisco, so we got to test it out. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So we get to do it here in our hometown, and
Nice.
very very happy to be here.
Tell us all about the record, Inhale, Exhale.
Yeah, basically, this is a different record for us in terms of the way we wrote it. Usually, for the last 4 records, we've always lived in the same city. But then me and John moved to Miami in the US, and Tyra moved down to San Diego, basically, Encinitas.
Yeah.
So we were living separately. We were trying to figure out how to bounce ideas remotely, but we started doing these writing sessions, 2-week blocks. So we ended up going to Austin, and the first 2-week block was in Austin in, I think Willie Nelson used to work in the studio.
Shut up.
So it was all these sick old,
channeled-
That's
Yeah,
where
Channel the
Inhale,
Magic.
Exhale came from, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's purely inspired by Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
But so we did these 2-week blocks, and it was Austin. We were in LA. We went to Ibiza, and basically we created a bunch of material, the most material we've ever written, and now it's a 15-track record. It's more maximalist than what we've done before.
Yeah.
Covers a lot more ground, but yeah, we're really excited about it. It feels we've explored some new territory, but retained other things that we've done in the past, and yeah,
Nice.
love it.
What made you two boys choose Miami and Tyrone, you choose San Diego? Why the split? Why East Coast versus West Coast?
Well, I would say, we moved to LA in 2017, so
Yeah.
we'd been there about 5 years by that point, and
It's dry, very dry on the West
and
Coast.
I don't know, we were living it's a bit dry. I don't mind that, but we were there during the pandemic, I guess, and I was living in Hollywood and in the thick of Hollywood, and I definitely wanted a sea change and to change of scenery, and we'd played in Miami a bunch, and we were like, let's.
What's Miami? I've never been to Miami. Is it like the movies?
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's not. Okay, it's not
the movies.
like the movies.
I feel like our experiences in Miami for the years before, whenever we toured there,
Yeah.
it's a bit crazy at South Beach. It's a little bit more like the movies, but
How like Bad Boys is it? Is there always someone running drugs? That's
well,
what I
it's probably
think Miami.
30% Bad Boys.
Okay, 30%.
30%.
I was going to say the reason, one of the reasons we definitely moved at a certain time was I was a part of a drive-by shooting in LA.
No, you were not.
Yeah, and there's just 6 shots right in front of my face, and that was me just going, all right, I think I'm done with this city for a
Are
little bit.
you serious?
Yeah, so
Holy shit.
yeah, that was enough for me to be like,
People,
let's
I don't
change it
think
up.
people in Australia, at least, understand just how crazy it is in certain parts of America. It is like the Wild Wild West. But even the major cities are a little bit like the Wild Wild West. And so why did you stay on the West Coast?
Well, I moved down to quiet little San Diego.
Yeah.
No, it's really nice.
It is.
My
It
wife-
is a beautiful part of the world down there.
It's beautiful. It's not too dissimilar from Sydney, to be
Yeah.
honest. But my wife is from there. And
Okay.
We have a 5-year-old son, and
Oh, nice.
her family's there, and it's just a nice place.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's not LA.
It's not LA.
Yeah.
I still love LA. I'll be honest. We go and we did the writing trips to go right there, and it's got a real special place in my heart. I don't know if it's because of the movies or there's just a buzz there.
There's the palm trees and the blue sky.
Yeah.
You just
The
feel like
Hollywood
some,
sign.
yeah, there's something about that
There's some
town.
real
There
special.
is.
There is
There's
something
a
about that
buzz.
town.
There is.
Now, the last time I saw you boys, was it 2019? It was at Coachella. 2019 was the last show that there were so many famous faces in the crowd. Like, are you aware there's like a lot of famous faces in your audience when you are playing shows, or do you get told?
We get told afterwards. So
you're like, oh, Kendall Jenner was there. You're like, shit, I should have saw that.
Yeah. No, I know that specific show. One of our good friends, Mike, we ran into him after the show, and he was like, yep, so I was just standing next to this guy, and he didn't know who he was at the time, but his friend was like, do you know who that is? And he was like, what? Who's that? And he's like, that's Dave Grohl. And so Mike told me that Dave Grohl was like watching our set. I don't know, if like maybe a couple of songs, and us hearing that, we were like, what? How is he aware of who we are? Yeah. You know, there's still that like just, you know, level of like fandom or like difference. Of
course. Like whenever you,
and that
grow up with a
bunch
band,
of levels, you know?
You live this sort of like you out of body experience where you're like, oh my God, my peers are now the people I grew up listening to. It must be wild experience. The next question is, speaking of wild experiences, how was Burning Man?
It was amazing.
It's a special experience. Have you been before?
I have not. You have to break this down because I just think it's like where a lot of people go to the desert and have sex. Now, I don't know how true.
That could be true.
That could be true. What happens there? Because I'm going to tell you the rumors and then you can unpick my story. Apparently, you can't spend money there. Like, you have to barter. Like,
it's less bartering, actually. It's more gifting. And I feel like everyone goes out there with a bit of something they're going to give back to the people out there. So
all right.
There's a bit of a format of, you know, there's this like little coffee pop-up. So you have like iced coffees being made on the playa, or, you know, it's crazy what they can do with, you know, like ice cream sellers and I don't know, just like what you wouldn't expect out in the desert. But people sort of serving each other, and they just make sure over the week that there's something that you're giving. And we ended up giving our DJ set. So that was sort of.
Oh, hang on. So was it an organized like gig thing, or were you just like, you know what, boy, let's go to Burning Man, and then we can give our time.
That's
as
definitely a way to go about it. But yeah, for this one, we'd organize to play a couple of sets, and then also you're out there, and you know, if you have your USB and there's like a stage and people you can jump on, and like there's that free format to it. But we'd organize to these sets, and one of them was all of them, but this one in particular we did with this Mayan Warrior, like art car, had all this insane production, but just this amazing crowd, and they're like,
do you have the goggles?
I check it out on YouTube.
He got some goggles for a little bit.
On YouTube you'll see during the Mayan Warrior set that this person just like hands me with like a fishing rod these goggles, and so they're like, oh, these hand sort of glasses, and halfway through I put them on.
Mate. Is it dusty? I imagine I imagine it's like so I know it sounds stupid, you're in the desert, but I imagine like there's a lot of dust because people don't wear the goggles are half fashion statement, half otherwise you're going to get dust in your eye.
The dust stays with you. It's like items of clothing that I've washed and whatever, there's still somehow little like puffs of dust come out, and I'm like, what?
Get out.
It stays with you, and that's really cool.
But the part of Burning Man I think that we love is like, say when we were writing Inner Bloom, it was definitely one of those thoughts that we were like, imagine watching the sunrise you know, at Burning Man, having this song play.
That's
and
cool.
we were able to realize that a few years later. And then with this record we were able to, you know, test some songs out at Burning Man and see how people react for the first time without ever hearing it. So
did you have a spiritual awakening? I hear some stories people come back from Burning Man like changed people, like I mean, you're obviously still all in the group. None of you decided to go, that's it, I'm done with music. I found another. But did any of you have like aha moment? No.
No, just change my clothes.
Nothing that crazy. But like, I mean, you know, it was like you're just playing music and to a crowd that is so willing to receive it. It is sick, and it's a reminder of why you love performing music in that aspect of, you know, the DJ sets at least.
Yeah, amazing. Boys, congratulations on the pending release of the record. Great to see you all. And you all survived Burning Man. And you're welcome back anytime, all right?
Thank you so much.
Smallsy Surgery
is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.